So I'm creating one more new class here. So in this, we'll discuss about the methods. The next topic we have a method. We'll discuss about this. So when I create this, I'll create a screen for this. The methods is not a different concept. So as of now, what are the functions we have seen? Functions we have seen the same functions. Now onwards, if I implement the function inside the class or inside the structure, the same thing will be called as a method now onwards. So how to write the function? The first thing we have to know how to write the function, where to write the function. I can create my own classes, class A, structure B. Okay, so now I have created my own custom class and my own custom structure. We know how to define the function. A simple function I can define. The same thing I can do for the structure also. In the class I have a function, in the structure I have a function. So first of all, what is the use of function? Like yesterday we discussed only the variable creation. What is the variable you are creating? Only the variable creation can happen outside the class. What is the variable you are creating? It can be happen outside the class, but like this. But the variable definition always has to implement inside the function. X is equal to 200. So something like this I can access. But if I want to access this function in a different class, not in a different class, if I want to access this function or a variable in a structure also, I can access this function. And if I define some variable, if I want to access inside the class also, I can access. Access your methods. When I want to access the thing, how I am accessing a variable, first I am creating an instance for the class, then I am accessing the variable. The same way, if I want to access a function, first create the instance for the class, then only access your function. Creating the instance, if I want to call the function, function call will happen by the same dot syntax with instance name. My instance name dot syntax. Now if I want to access the x variable, I have x variable I can access. I have one more function, simple function I can access. Now here I'll print this. By default, whenever I write, it will not execute. So if I want to execute this, first go to your class, then it will get executed. First step, I'm creating an instance. Second step, using instance calling the function. Now it will go this control from here, it will go and it will reach here. So what is the function definition you are having? The control will pass to here. Do the step over, the control will reach here, implement this, then come out of that. So like this we can access the functions. Now the same thing we will implement for the structure also. I'll create a variable, but here there is a slight difference implementing a function from the class and from the structure. So what is the simple difference? I have a variable here, I am updating the value here the same way how I have implemented here, but my structure is throwing the error. You cannot assign to the property self is a mutable. Here, whenever the keyword you see self throughout the project, so it can be any class, it can be anywhere. Whenever I see the self keyword, so now where I am seeing the self keyword I am seeing inside the structure. So here, self means your structure name. If I see self in this between this block, if I see self here, self is nothing but my method here. If I say self here, here the self means my method view controller. Now what is telling self? My structure is a immutable. In the first class we have seen the keyword called immutable, nothing but let or the var. So now by default I cannot change any values here. So how I can change the values? It will automatically give you the fix. Make mark method. So I have a method called simple function. Mark method with mutating keyword. So add a keyword this to make self as a mutable. So if I add this keyword, then it will become mutable. So now try to add this keyword. Now your error is gone. Now whatever you want to do, you can do here. But when I have to add a mutating keyword, when you try to update some values from the structure, I have a value, I am trying to update, then only you will get the error. If you are not trying to update, you will never get any error. This is the simple difference between the class function and a structure function. So in the structure function, if you want update, give a mutating. Now accessing is the same way. And call the function. So the first thing called is a view load. We have already seen the view load. We have seen for the class. Now class is done. First structure reference I am creating. So I have a structure method B, structure reference I am creating here. After creating this, to the structure here, if you observe, here the function name is also simple function. Here the name is also simple function. But on top of what you are calling, this simple function I am calling on top of my structure instance. It will go to print the same statement, printing from my structure method B. This is how I can implement the functions. This is a simple function. So now onwards, we call this as a method. Why we call this as a method? If I go to class hierarchy, so here we have seen these buttons. This my file controller, all the files I can see here. This is my class hierarchy. In the class hierarchy, you can see all the class names. So my class name A I have given. If I go to view controller one, I'll go here. In the view controller, I have a class A, structure B. I have class instance property, type property, class view controller. So class A, class B, so everything I have. But inside the method controller, if I go here, I have created a method. Here, when I see this M symbol, so M is nothing but my method I have created. I have created a method called simple function here. So in class method here, if I go to class method here, I have simple function. Simple function, it is telling a method. It is not telling this is a function. The same way I have a x here. X, it is telling a property. It is not a variable here. So this is how in the real time we use the keywords, methods, and the properties. Now I know how to define a function and how to access a function from different classes. Now we will see one more problem. What is that one more problem? I have a variable x here. I create one more function. My function name is check self. Whenever I define a function, I can define my parameters also. Now my parameter, I'm saying as x. Here if you observe, my property name is also x, my parameter name is also x. If I say print x, whenever I say print x, it will access the parameter only. Now if I want to say, do the right click, jump to definition, you will get an option called jump to definition, and the shortcut, hold the command button and click on the particular variable. If I want to see this x, hold the command button, click on this, jump to definition will come. It will always highlight from where you have defined this. Or else hold the command button, it will highlight what you want to say. Just click on this, jump to definition. Now variable x always referring to this. Why it is not referring to my variable? So now if I want to get this value, you always refer your self keyword. So use the self keyword. When I say self, it will tell my class name. My class name is method A. So use the self keyword, then access your variable. Now this is different. This is different. This is nothing but my parameter. This is nothing but my variable. So this is how we can differentiate when you get a requirement in a single class or a single structure. You have the same kind of variable, the same kind of parameter. Usually if we write a code, we have to make sure that should be two different names. If someone is writing a code, if I want to understand, this is the way that you can understand by making the self keyword. Structure also the same way you can make the difference by using the self keyword. So here we should know how to write the function, we should know how to use the self keyword. In this, any doubts are there in the simple function and defining the function?
No.
Now in the properties, we have a type property and an instance property. Here also we have instance method and a type method concept. So first we will see what is the instance method. Here only I can see the difference for the first thing. First of all, it is a method. As of now, it is a simple method that I am declaring. Nothing but simple function. This simple function, how I am accessing. So here, this is nothing but instance What is the class reference I'm creating? Method here. So now using this instance, I'm accessing the method. So nothing but by using instance. Now I want to access a method, so it become, what is the method I'm having? It become instance method. Now I want a scenario without using the instance. So how to do this? In a class, if you want access, I'm using the static keyword. So here also we'll do the same thing. I'll define a function. Check type the function name. As of now, I have to create an instance to access this. Now what I'll do, I'll put a static keyword. But class method will not accept a static keyword to the function. So if I want to make it as a type method, so this instance method, if I want to make it as a type method to the function, what is the function you are writing? Instead of giving a class static keyword, give a class keyword. Now it will become a type method. If I want to access this, now what I'll do, just use your class name. No need to initialize this. Use a class name. Dot syntax. It will provide you the method name. Check type method. So directly you can access. Now for the class, I'm giving a class keyword. Now it become a type method. What about the structure? The structure I want to make it as a type method. So function. So function doesn't mean you can write any parameters. So it is not like only for the instance method I can write the parameters, not for the type method. If it is a function, you write any kind of parameters. Now I want to make it. For the class, I have given the class keyword. For the structure, still you follow the same static keyword. If I want to make it as a type function, so this is nothing but my instance. Type method. Here you have to observe one more thing. If I want to update the value here, so what is the z value I'm having? If I want to update here, then again you have to make static mutating function. Now one word, I'm not updating any code here, so I can write static function. If I want to update, write static mutating also. Now using my structure name is method b dot access your type method. So no need of installation, no need of creating an instance. So these are the things that we have in a function. Always you have to remember how to create a function inside the class or inside the structure. Then what is the use of self keyword? Then what is the instance method and what is a type method? So the basics we have seen, we have covered almost in the advanced level. In the class, creating a class and creating a structure in a file. So this is a file. What is the view controller? What is the method view controller? This is the file. In a single file, whenever I say in a single file, you can create number of classes, you can create number of structures. But in a class, never create one more class. In a structure, never create one more structure. So in this, any dots are there?
No.
Nikhil, you have any other dots?
No.
Okay. Tomorrow, everyone available, right? And
Yes.
is it possible for you tomorrow evening? I'm planning.
Timings.
So evening,
What time?
what time will be better? So from 4 to 6 or 4 to 5:30?
Yes, it's fine.
5:30.
Yes, it's fine for me.
Nikhil, Sivkant, Nikhil, okay for you, and Sivkant?
Yeah, 4 to 5:30, I can come.
Okay, so we'll confirm 4 to 5:30. Tomorrow evening we'll have a class.
Okay.
Okay, so what will we be covering?
The next level concepts. So we have covered a simple things, how to write a code, all this. So we have one more step. As of now, we have seen a class and a structure. And apart from these two, we have one more thing, a small concept called enumeration. First, we will cover enumeration concept, then we'll go for some other concepts.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
4 to 5:30 we will be
Yeah,
there.
evening 4 to 5:30. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Bye bye.